Okay, so let's do all the odd numbered questions. Okay, so first thing, again, cosine is positive in quadrant 1 and in quadrant 4. My triangle, my 30, 60, 90, root 3, 1, and 2 is going to be, so my triangle says 30 degrees. And then I want to put 30 degrees in quadrant 1, which is itself. And then I want to put 30 degrees in quadrant 4, which is 360 minus 30, which is 330 degrees. So my theta is 30 and 330 degrees. Okay. Now this is where, we're going to start to get some other ones, but when you look at tangent, so tangent is equal to 1, so that's actually a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So first of all, tangent is negative, is negative in quadrant 2 and in quadrant 4. Oops, that's not number 3. Number 2, the triangle says 45 degrees. So I want to put 45 degrees in quadrant 2, which is 180 minus 45, which is 135. And then I want to put 45 degrees in quadrant 4, which is 360 minus 45, which is 315. So my theta is 135 degrees and 315 degrees. And if I were to actually go through and plug in 135 and 315 in for my theta, I should get -1. Okay. All right, so now getting a little trickier. Cosecant. So remember, cosecant is 1 over sine. Or we could say it's the same thing as, so cosecant is 1 over sine, or we could say that it is hypotenuse over opposite. And when you look at your triangle, you're like, man, I can't get 1. You actually, the issue is that it's actually not a triangle. It's not on the triangle. It's on that unit circle thing that we talked about. It's a multiple of 90 degrees. So remember that I can write it as a cosine comma sine, right? So I'm looking at my y values, and I want my y to be 1, which is up here at 90 degrees. So my theta is actually 90 degrees. It's in that chart that we created in a previous section. Okay, that's 5. Moving along to 7, 30, 60, 90, root 3, 1, and 2. So then I want a opposite side of root 3. So that's going to be a 60-degree angle. So my first thing is that tangent is negative in quadrant 2 and in quadrant 4. My triangle says 60 degrees, so then I want 60 degrees in quadrant 2, which is 180 minus 60, which is 120, and then I want 60 degrees in quadrant 4, which is 360 minus 60, which is 300. So I want my theta to be 120 and 300. I'm going to tell you guys, you're gonna start to feel like you can memorize these a little bit. I do need to see work. So it's unacceptable for you guys to just have answers there, especially on a quiz or a test. I won't accept it on homework. I won't accept it on a quiz or a test if you guys are not showing work. Okay. All right. So question 9. So 4 sine of theta is equal to 8. So sine of theta is equal to 8 over 4. So sine of theta is equal to 2. That actually does not work. There's the values of sine have to go between +1 and -1. So this is no solution. Okay. Looking at 11, so I have 4 cosine of theta is equal to -2. So cosine of theta is equal to -2 over 4. So cosine of theta is equal to 1/2. So I have 30, 60, 90, root 3, 1, and 2. cosine is going to be of 60 degrees. So first thing, and that is cosine is negative in quadrant 2 and in quadrant 4. My triangle says 60 degrees, so I want 60 degrees in quadrant 2, which is 180 minus 60, which is 120. And then I want 60 degrees in quadrant 4, which is 360 minus 60, which is 300. So my theta is 120 and 300 degrees. Okay. 13, tangent of theta is equal to 0. So that's where it's like, man, there's nothing that when you sit there and you're like, man, nothing gives me 0, right? When I draw the triangle, then it's probably in that chart. And it is. Remember that sine of theta over cosine of theta is tangent. So I want when sine is equal to 0, when you draw your circle, it is 1, 0, 0, 1, negative 1, 0, and 0, negative 1, right? And my sine is my y values. So 0, I want 0 for sine, which is going to be at 0 and 180 degrees and 360. So it'll be at 0 degrees, 180, and back around to 360 because it is equals here. So my theta is going to be 0 degrees, 180 degrees, and 360 degrees. And that is it for all the odd numbered questions.